Let's get to it. In my experience, bad behavior is inevitable when it comes from your woman, and it's definitely coming. Listen, you can have it. You can have a wonderful woman. You can have the world's greatest girlfriend, and guess what? She's going to act up half the time when it's that time of the month. A woman is never chemically identical from one day to the next anyway, or she might be testing you either way. Listen, that might be the beginning of the end. What do you have to say about addressing inappropriate behavior with women? We'll talk about specifics here in a moment. Well, when I interact with ladies, I adhere to a set of standards. Guys, having an abundance mindset is essential when dealing with women. Meeting and keeping women both require this mindset, so if you want to succeed with them, they will undoubtedly act out occasionally. If this is the case, she needs to know that you are willing to walk away, and sometimes taking a short break will demonstrate to her that you care. So stop making empty threats, you guys. This is why your women never act right. Listen, guys, sometimes a 2-week, 3-week, or 4-week breakup is necessary to earn your woman's respect in the olden days. When old school cats like my grandparents did such things, they didn't notice when they had women, as this was the thing where guys didn't know how to control women. So they hit them just to act right. However, we know now that in the modern world, you can't hit women. Let's assume that you aren't even acting emotional, and that your neighbors overhear you arguing with your wife. They might assume that there is a fight going on, or that there is something else going on, which is why 2 police officers arrive to talk to you and want to sit you down. They may also feel that if you are acting loudly, they may be able to arrest you because they'll assume the worst. I always hear from my women, "I don't see you enough, we don't talk enough," all the time, and "My girl came on Sunday. Are you going to pick up the phone this week? Are you going to call me this week?" These are all good signs, but she never says, "Well, I can't come see you next Sunday, I got a lot going on." She is always happy for the time that she can get. Alright guys, don't expect a woman to act right if she doesn't think you can do better. This scarcity mindset originates from the fact that you don't believe that if you give a woman your phone number, or if you strike up a conversation with her before you ask her for her phone number, or before you give her yours, she will already know whether or not she is interested. As a result, if you ask her for your phone number, she will give it to you. Put your number in because you never know what she might think in 2 seconds. For example, she might think, "This guy had the nerve to actually answer my phone number. I'll give him a shot." It might not be a good shot, but at least you're in there, right guys? This is why, as Donald just said, you want to keep your first date low cost, because you might end up with a pity date. It's interesting that many people mistakenly think that contempt in public is always expressed verbally. However, it can also be expressed through a person's body language. How do you handle rudeness in public, such as when someone ignores you totally while you are speaking to them in a public setting, or when someone rolls their eyes at you? Let's break this disrespect down, guys. There are layers to this, so understand that a woman didn't skip the shittest and move on to disrespect. Instead, she put you through it, and as you failed, she became more emboldened. Now that you've been displaying weakness, she won't become more brave. Let's say I work for someone, and I arrive at work 15 minutes late. If they don't say anything, I'm like, but they don't say anything. So the next time I arrive, I'm getting molded because they let the first one go. So now I'm getting more and more, and eventually I go an hour late. This is a true story. I was doing this since the manager didn't really care that I was running late because the club was already packed with 12 people. I would thus receive the 11 poster because at 10, they were paying me for 10.4 to 11. I recently increased from 10 to 10:15 instead of getting my ass at around 11:30 or 11:45. It reached 10:30 when he didn't object. He hadn't gone to 11, but he didn't care because the club would be empty for those 2 hours. Assuming that this is what happened to you and your wife, if you're being disrespected in public, know that you've been a bitch. She didn't listen to her, it was on different levels, and she didn't just decide to say, "I'm disrespecting this dude today." She smelled the blood in the water. And you thought, well, I'm just here relaxing, so it's no big deal. But you guys started to think, everything with a woman's mouth, a woman matters, every little shit test matters. You'd have to always stand up to a woman. You make today, you change your day with little simple stuff like that. When you want to go eat ravioli and you want to go eat spaghetti, you might think that's not a big deal because you are the guy. The real stuff like that is how you end up flat out disrespecting people. So guys, don't let it get that far because let me tell you something. If it gets to the point where a woman is flat out disrespecting you, alright, that means she's probably lost love for you. And what a woman does when she wants to push you away is that she gets so frustrated with her behavior that she just tries to do everything. Men must understand that women always want a man to end a relationship, which is why they become irritable and attempt to push you away. If you spot a red flag, just take a glance at the lady and think, this woman probably doesn't really care that much about me anymore.